Okay, so welcome, and here we go. We're in the 2012. I want to talk to you about some of the trends in 2012. And remember that this is a channel where you're going to hear things that may seem a little radical or, different than what you're normally used to hearing. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel and pass these videos around to your friends. I'm really about sharing the deeper truth of what's happening here on this planet. And as I mentioned in 2 videos prior to this one, the NDAA is a threat to the democratic rights of all human beings. Yes, the National Defense Authorization Act, which came into law and was signed by Barack Obama on New Year's Day while everyone was partying, interesting enough, the oldest democratic right, habeas corpus of civilized peoples everywhere, has effectively been scrapped. Now, that's just, again, suggestion. All of this is suggestion because the Constitution of the United States was put into place as a perception of freedom and liberty. And most of the people in the United States adhere to the Constitution, and they use that as a tool of measurement. Okay, so with this new law being implemented, that the all civilized people everywhere can potentially be detained and or held without trial in detention centers around the world. This again is a new law. Let's see what happens when this actually is taken to the next phase into action. So let's keep abreast of this trend for 2012. This trend for 2012 will be, or one of them will be, censorship. So let's keep abreast of that. Another trend for 2012 will be the alien invasion. And here's another story for you that came out. I'll post this on the description. Are we all Martians? According to many planetary scientists, it's conceivable that all life on Earth is descended from organisms that originated on Mars and were carried here aboard meteorites. If that's the case, an instrument is being developed by researchers at MIT and Harvard that could provide the clinching evidence. Again, this is all suggestion. It's all a lie. We do not come from Mars. We do not come from any planets. We experience this dimension as divine wisdom, simply captured in this illusory existence that we experience here on Earth. So again, another trend for 2012 will be aliens, will be the alien invasion. So keep that in mind. Here's another article that just came out last week. Beam me up, Obama. A conspiracy theory claims President Obama was teleported to Mars. Again, it's just suggestion, and it's a story designed to keep you caught in the perpetual stories that are playing out on this world, this illusory story or theater stage. All designed to keep you in utter state of chaos and confusion about who and what you really are. So I just really want to emphasize here that there is a war. There's a war on human consciousness. Yes, you are divine wisdom. Divine wisdom. You are all seeing and all knowing. And the power control force does everything that it can to keep you from that knowledge. The power control force is mindful of its final moments to realize its goals, always in the process of realizing its goal. That goal is total control of who and what you are as divine wisdom, through this new world order. Okay? So a new age of reason is upon us, designed to manifest itself through our 3-dimensional experience we call life. The New World Order has long been established, However, a subliminal reality construct must be cast over humanity in order to keep us in their third-dimensional prison, to convince us, and for all, and to never end, that this three-dimensional scenario is real, and that the three-dimensional life experience is actually real. And it's not. It's all an illusion. And you must come to know the deeper truths of this, because unless you do, you're going to be caught up in this paralysis, in the fear, and constantly engaged in this systematic plan of what's being played out, designed to manipulate you. Remember that. So the power control force, the psychopaths that I constantly tell you about in the previous videos that run this world, have kept and fostered the ability to lie and distort reality regardless of the pain and suffering, all for the sake of power, worship, and greed. Again, regardless of the suffering and pain that is inflicted on the human species, or all species for that matter. Now, their agenda, the power control force, is saturated with deceit and corruption. Yes, and you're noticing more and more of that deceit and corruption. The world is deceived by their manipulation, thereby generating fear and hypnosis in much the same manner as they themselves have been manipulated. Those that run this world are manipulated by a thought form system, a thought form above them that manipulates them into doing what it is that they're doing the bidding. They're doing the bidding for a higher cause, for a higher source, for a higher thought form, those who conjured up this thought form system. Okay? So just keep that in mind. And so the system mindset, this thought system mindset, again, has been conjured up. This whole existence has been conjured up. The existence that you exist in within this reality construct. I know this is probably way out there for some of you, but hang in there with me. As we go through these videos, you're going to learn more and more about how or the nature of this system. So in 2012, we have this mem. Mems are anything that can be copied from one mind to another. So we have a very constant mem, many mems. 2012 is a mem, and so some very significant events or false flag events are going to happen again to keep you in this hypnotic trance. This year will be a very significant year. Keep that in mind. Many of you probably know that, but you don't have to buy into the manipulation. You don't have to buy into the program of deception that's playing out. Now, one of the things I want to tell you is that psychopaths, those that run this world, they thrive off fear. So the more of humanity, the more of you that they can keep in this perpetual state of fear, the better source of food you become for the power control force. So I'm really about supporting people to move into the heart, because when you move into the heart, you can transcend this third dimensional lie. You get to experience this physical world from a whole nother perspective. And that's what they were trying to deny you from experiencing. You are to become fearless. Yes, you are to become fearless. The power control force knows that once you move into the heart, you become fearless. And they're trying to stop that from happening. However, 2012, this mem somehow energetically provides an opportunity for you to catapult yourself into a whole nother level of existence outside of this dimension. Now, the power control force own and manipulate all institutions in this third dimensional illusion. All world systems, all of these world systems are only the tip of the iceberg. And remember, again, all of the world systems that we exist within, that we know of, are just the tip of the iceberg. So what you experience, what you are experiencing in this dimensional, third dimensional reality construct is simply just suggestion. You're being manipulated. It's all conjured up to keep you captured in a hypnotic trance state. Okay? So one of the things I want to talk to you about is this Lady Gaga. Interesting enough, Lady Gaga Gaga means crazy. Okay? Means crazy in Filipino. A reference to Haitian, which has genuine fears that, a genuine fear. In Haitian, it is a reference to a witch or someone who is prophetic in terms of information. But one of the things I found interesting is that it means crazy. Yes, she is symbolically representing the craziness of what's going on in this third-dimensional illusory reality. So Gaga brings the youth a message that is very similar to other pop stars. Mind control is cool. That's what Lady Gaga represents. Mind control is cool. Everyone is doing it, and submit to the dark side and you'll get what you want. But when things get scary and the knight becomes an abusive husband, asking for a divorce won't be an option. Ask Princess Diana. Lady Gaga believes that she is a reincarnation of Princess Diana, which I find quite interesting. The Sun reports that a source close to the Born This Way star revealed that she sees herself as a pop version of the royal icon who died in a car crash while being chased by photographers in France in 1997. Well, that's the surface level of the story, but Princess Diana was a ritual sacrifice, which most of those in the conspiracy movement know of the truth of this. And obviously, maybe she doesn't know the truth of this. I hardly doubt that. But anyway, according to the source, Gaga has penned a track inspired by Diana's death, often has dreams in which she is killed in the same very way, because of her fame and constant media attention she receives. Princess Diana was not killed because of her fame and constant media attention. That's the perception that you were fed through the media. But again, it was a ritual sacrifice. They said Gaga has always been absolutely fixated on Diana and sees herself as the 21st century incarnation of her. She knows she's almost as recognizable as Diana and is hounded by photographers and fans on the same level. The source went on to say that Gaga has dreams about dying the same way as her and has genuine fears that her fame could literally kill her, either in a chase or at the hands of crazies. Yes, she is in the hands of crazies. She has sold her soul over to the power control force, so she is used as a pawn in this dark, sinister program. Keep that in mind. Another interesting thing that I found that I wanted to share with you was a North Korean mourning of the president, Kim Jong-un Lee, and Il. I found that quite interesting. North Korea in mourning for Kim Jong-il. He could be the most evil dictator of all time. Hear me out. The Koreans population mourn for a man who could be considered the most evil dictator of all time. The tyrants of the Middle East have nothing on him. Kim has managed to keep his people ignorant and starving. I was floored when I saw the level of mourning for this tyrant. The news of the North Korea's leader's death has put the 24 million population on the verge of insanity. Yes, hyped by an unceasing TV broadcast of mass mourning throughout the country. You probably saw pictures of this. Many mourners were sprawled on the ground following an ancient tradition of devotingly wailing for the dead. Yes, that reminded me, again, the power of suggestion. The Western Wailing Wall in Jerusalem. Yes, the power of suggestion is all adding to the story. Yes, and so this Wailing Wall is in the Western Wall, Wailing Wall in Jerusalem, is a panorama of the Western Wall with the Dome of the Rock. Yes, the Dome of the Rock. It's dictator who was supposedly died. I believe that was another ritual sacrifice by the power control force, definitely designed to eliminate him as a dictator. And what it's suggesting is, again, this mosque, the Wailing Wall, this mosque. All suggestion. Now, one of the things I want to talk to you about is this new, which I found another interesting story, was this critics say Korean skyscraper design evokes exploding twin towers. Yes, it looks exactly like the twin towers. Again, the power of suggestion, subliminal programming, keeping you in the hypnotic trance through other images and or scenarios or stories or the conjured up reality that's being perpetuated over and over and over again. The power of suggestion. Yes, these towers, these new towers that are being built in Seoul, Korea, are suggesting the World Trade Center attack. And however, the architects say that's further from the truth. The Dutch architecture from MVRDV said that the proposed its cloud design because it challenged the mundane shape of the typical skyscrapers. No, because they're taking direction by the power control force, those that run this world, that sit around tables like this and plan and plot their next agendas, or all their agendas. So, recognizing that the design is legitimately upsetting for some and assuming that the firm truly didn't see the connection, please, where does the fault lie? Did the firm fail to be sufficiently thoughtful about what the design might dredge up for some people, particularly Americans? Is there also a mistake being made by concentrating so heavily on that symbolism? Yes. There is no mistake. It's all by design to concentrate on the heavy subliminal messaging so that you will remember the devastation of 2001. Now, the website, there's a website, here's something I found interesting too, on Noah's Ark. There's a website that claims scientific evidence of Noah's Arks being found on Mount Ararat in Turkey. Talk of the Ark has been swarming in the mountain region for thousands of years. Through science, though science has never confirmed, again, science has never confirmed its existence or location. Many of the pyraminologists in the 19th century have pointed out an amazing correlation, the volume of cubic capacity of the coffer of the king's chamber. The king's chamber is exactly the same volume to the Ark of the Covenant. Interesting enough. Ark of the Covenant as described in the Bible. Yes, the Bible story, the full lie, the lie that you've been told. Could there be some common measurement that was used that goes back to antiquity? Could there be some common builders involved between the subliminal suggestion of the dimensions of the Ark of the Covenant and the Noah's Ark? This is the Ark that's being built by Johann Hebers, an eccentric Dutch Christian who has spent around 1 million pounds building the ark after dreaming about a great flood sweeping Holland. He saw the dream as a signal to spread God's message. Yes, so it's a giant recreation of the ark. Could be moored, apparently, in the River Thames during the London 2012 Olympics. Yes, again, it probably will, suggesting the Bible story of the flood. Johann, who built this, is building this big Noah's Ark, had found the inspiration for the project 20 years ago, but only started construction on the river near Rotterdam 3 years ago against the advice of his wife. Mr. Huber recently wrote to Boris Johnson, the mayor of London, to ask for the permission to bring his ark to London for the Olympic Games next summer and moor it in the capital. Yes, again, holding you in this hypnotic trance, the power of suggestion. However, keep in mind that it's all a lie. Okay? Now, Giza Pyramid was cloned after the King's Chamber Ark of Noah's Dimensions. Okay? Keep that in mind. The King's Chamber was cloned out of the Ark of Noah's Dimensions, or the Noah's Ark Dimensions. That was one other thing that I wanted to mention there in that little piece. And then again, one last thing to leave you with was just another suggestion. Okay, another suggestion. Again, all tying in the lines of this Bible story. The Bible story that's playing out. Apples fall from the sky over Coventry. This was in December. Stunned motorists were forced to brake sharply to avoid the falling fruit. Sounds like the forbidden fruit from the tree of knowledge which Adam and Eve again has eaten from. Again, the power of suggestion. It's a lie. There's no truth to that. But then this scenario just suggests that. Now, stunned motorists were forced to brake sharply to avoid the falling fruit believed to be swept up by the vortex caused by freak weather conditions in Coventry. Interesting how the apples fall in a place called Coventry. A covenant is a solemn agreement to engage in or refrain from a specified action. It is commonly found in religious context, where it refers to sacred agreements between God and human beings. So I find that very interesting that these apples fall in a place or a town called Coventry in England. Again, it's all suggestion. It's all nonsense, utter nonsense and insanity to keep you engaged in the story, the perpetual story or lies that keep getting conjured up as we go along, as the story unfolds. Again, all suggesting this Last Supper, the Last Supper that's going to happen in the Ring of Fire. That is the next largest false flag that will happen, quite similar to the World Trade Towers in 2001. The Last Supper in the Ring of Fire will happen off the coast of Vancouver Island all the way down through the Cascadia Fault. And I've talked about this in previous videos. So again, this is all suggestion, all designed to keep you asleep in this hypnotic trance. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, I suggest that you subscribe to the channel, pass these videos out to your friends. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. Remember to stay in the heart. And remember that you are divine wisdom. You have this wisdom to uncover all of this information and know the truth, the deeper truths, and understand the deeper truths. Because by knowing and understanding and comprehending the deeper truths of what's happening in this physical world, you can transcend it and not get caught in a deception and lie that has been conjured up by these psychopaths to keep you in utter fear and chaos. Again, take care, enjoy this channel, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.